Ever wanted to have custom models in your Minecraft map? Well, here's how. To make all of these custom models, I highly recommend you check out the Axiom mod because that makes everything 1,000 times easier. And it's also better than using MC Stacker in this case because we have a lot more customizability with the Axiom mod. So let me show you. Once you have Axiom installed, you're gonna see this little thing over there which says move, and these are basically all of the kind of world edit options that Axiom gives you, but we don't need that, so just select any slot in your normal hotbar and hold the left Alt key. This will open a huge menu, but we will only need the Create Display Entity option for now. So click that, and now you can let go of the left Alt key and you're in the next menu. Next up, head over to Block Display, and then you can change the block you want. So for now, I'm just gonna take a block of diamond or a diamond block, and there are a lot of additional settings, but I won't go over that today because there's a lot to talk about here. We're just gonna click done, and as you can see, there's our diamond block. And some of you maybe already have noticed that there's a little white cube inside of every model, and this is essentially our editing point. So when we punch it with left click, you can already see there's a little menu down to the right side, which already explains some of the stuff, but I'm going to explain it a little bit more. So you have these arrows, which basically, if you hold left click while looking at them, you can just move the block around like this in every direction. Using the cubes of each color, you can deform the object like this. Make it long, whatever you want. You can also move the object in the whole plane by left clicking this little flat rectangle, so to speak. And you can also turn the block by looking at the circle and just moving it and rotating it. You can also move the block by scrolling with the mouse wheel, as you can see here. And if you want the block to go a whole block at a time, you can just hold down Control. And as you can see, the block will move a lot faster. You can also hold down Shift while moving the arrow to move the block exactly. As you can see, we're getting down to the 4th decimal here, so we're really exact. If you want to move it to a really specific point, we can do that by holding down Shift. And by left clicking the white cube inside, we can move the block in all 3 planes at the same time. You can also, after you've left clicked the block, right click any block where you want the block display to be. So that's also really helpful. Now I'm just gonna stretch this thing out and make it a little bit smaller by sliding this little blue cube to the left. And as you can see, the whole thing gets a lot smaller already. And move it down to the floor so it actually touches the floor. Like that. And as you can see, there's our first block display ready. So let's make the next one. Same thing as before. Now I'm just gonna take spruce planks, hit done. It's the same thing like before. Now we'll move it over a little bit upwards, make it a lot smaller. Yeah, there we go. And that's the handle. So no, it's still not really centered. Now it's centered. Perfect. So now we just left click somewhere else. And this is our diamond hammer that we've got going now. Now, the next thing that would be really important to do is right click any of the cubes and hit this grouping button here, which will basically group the 2 block displays together. So we have one group with nearby in range. It shows you what range you want the block displays to group. So if you have a lot of block displays around you which you want to group together, you can obviously put the range higher, but it depends on what you need. So I'm just gonna set the range to 1. And then I'll just hit group with nearby in range. And as you can see, now we only have one white cube. And when we try to move it, the whole thing moves. So now we could also give it some rotation to make it look like it just had been put down. So that's a really cool thing. And if you want to, you could now duplicate it, move it. Now you would have 2 hammers. You could do whatever you want with it. So there are a lot of options, of course, to choose from. You could also edit the properties and change it to whatever you want. So the handle changes. Well, now that we grouped the 2 things together, we can only change one thing, but when you have the block display separated like in the beginning, you can change the properties afterwards as well. And you could also hit Control and the middle mouse button to get a block display in your inventory. So now you could go around and place it wherever you want to. So now of course we have to move it a little bit. It always depends on where you place it. But yeah, you could have a ton of hammers. They're all stuck in the dirt now for some reason. Yeah, but that's basically everything you need to know, the basics of working with block displays. So the only limit is your imagination, as some would say. Well, I'm sure you can make better block displays than me, but these are just some ideas. So what I now want to show you is how you could add some interactive thing for your adventure map, and for this thing I make like some kind of Excalibur sword. So let me show you how you could actually make it interactable. To make this work, you'll actually need to summon a interaction like this one. If you want to know more about these interactions, you can watch the other video I did about interactions, because it would take way too long to explain it here, but basically it's a box that can detect left click or right click interactions, and we're just going to put it onto the sword and add some commands, and I'll show it to you. Give me a sec. Alright, so now I've put down some command blocks, and as you can see we've got a interaction going. Let me just disable shaders so now you can see it way better. So this basically is the interaction box. You can activate and see interactions by hitting F3+B, and well, if we now right click the sword and try to take Excalibur... Wait, what? Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways, you can put any command, whatever you want in there, just like I did in the interaction video. The interaction commands are over here, and then we just set a redstone block that gets deleted by this command block, and then immediately execute any command you like. So you could make the block display move upwards, so you essentially pull it out of the stone, or you could make some sound effect. You can do whatever you want, just be creative. There are a lot of ways you can do things with interactions, with block displays, and have fun with it. So I hope you liked the video. If so, let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and most important of all, stay curious.